Okay, it's a little after 11. We got people jumping on Zoom just to be respectful of everybody's time. I know there's some more people that will show up.
Yeah.
So Spencer's been here before. Yeah, I did. I didn't even look at Eric this time. You got me. So yeah, this is a CE credit. Some of you didn't know that. Some of you we notified of the change. I wish we would have got that out a little bit more. Maybe we would have got a little bit more engagement. No worries. But so Spencer's going to have some instructions for you that are on Zoom that you'll have to do if you're in Utah, right? I mean, Steve, you're not going to get credit in New York, sorry. But those of you that are in Utah can get a 1 hour CE credit, okay? Video, we're going to be talking about using video today. All of us know we should be doing it. Some of us are doing it. Tyler does a good job on video. Everybody's talking about it. Do you do videos?
I will.
You will, and you're going to learn how today. Wow. Okay, so for you agents that are local in Utah, I see a lot of team members on there on Zoom, and those are locally. I put a link in the chat. If you're attending this class and you're a licensed real estate agent, you would like to join us tomorrow night at Top Golf, we're kind of throwing a little thing. It's going to be a lot of fun, just social networking. We got a full buffet, a live band, and we just hanging out and networking. So if you're on this class attending and you're here local, you are officially invited. So that link is in the chat. So Spencer, come on up, give a little bit of introduction to the class and to you. And this is a CE credit, so he won't talk a lot about his business, but I will. So yeah, you got a contact slide in there, right? Yeah. Probably at the end or whatever. Spencer is in mortgage, okay? So sometimes we get trainers, they come in here and they give us great information and everything, but that connection sometimes gets missed by what they can do. So you'll talk a little bit about that, but I know that you kind of have some parameters that way. So make sure you copy his contact info, reach out, see how you can connect with him on that front too. So Spencer,
Awesome. All right, let's do this.
turn the power. Oh, I was just gonna turn the power on. Yeah. You're like, is that right? Let's see if I did it right. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Great to be here. I was here a month and a half, something like that. We did an awesome class, also CE approved on managing your database. And how many of you guys were here for that? For those of you, sweet. Well, it's a good one. It's probably my favorite one. This is also one of my favorite ones. I was lucky enough to get this one today approved for CE, just like the last one. And I have several other classes that are approved for CE, but I have some that are kind of boring. You know how CE classes, you know, these types of classes like marketing, video, things like that, they're just funner, you know, and things that I feel like you guys can use in your business. And I feel like if I'm doing this and teaching this kind of content, then I'm helping you build your business at the same time. And anyways, it's a lot more fun to do that. I'm going to confirm these slides work, and they do. Fantastic. Okay, just at the beginning, just want to make sure you're aware. Like I said, it's CE 1 hour non-core credit. To get the credit, I need 3 things. I need your name and your license number and your email. I think the sign-in sheet's being passed around right now. If you're online on Zoom, just put it in the chat. We'll download the chat afterwards, and put your name, your license number, your email. We'll email you the certificate of completion within a few hours of the class. So, oh yeah, for those of you who are online as well, I have to. You're probably not going to like this, but I have to tell you, in order to get the credit, I have to be able to see your eyeballs. Okay, so if you can turn on your video, that would be fantastic. And then also through the course of the next hour on the slides, I have 3 keywords, and I'll just say them as we go through. And if you can put those 3 keywords in the chat as well, then I can confirm that you were listening throughout.
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention.
So if you want the CE credit, I got to be able to see you, that you're actually attending and listening and watching and also paying attention. So I didn't do that last time, and I got a reminder. I don't want to get reminders. Okay? So just FYI. So like was mentioned, I am a mortgage guy. I'll talk maybe more about that after the class, but I've done mortgages for 20 years and I love it. I would rather do anything else. It's kind of my passion right now. And the best part about doing it is I get to work with good folks like you guys and hopefully help you guys build your business. So let's jump into video and get this thing going. So how many of you are currently doing video in your marketing?
Having done a couple, does that count? I'm not doing video, but I'm.
But you've done video, you know, that's great. That's awesome. I gotta say, the video you sent me was great. The one that, you know, this is our office, we walk in the front door, you gotta come this way, and then you go up the stairs, this is where you teach the class. Perfect.
Cool.
And you can reuse that video every time, right? You do it once and then you reuse it, you send it out to whoever needs to see it, clients or whoever, or, you know, people like me that need to come and teach or whatever. So that's a perfect example. What kind of video have you guys done? If you say you've done video, what kinds of things do you do or have you done?
We've done like reels and stuff like in houses and.
Okay. So you like have a listing and you put the house on video, you walk through the house, talk about it, all that good stuff.
Do you guys put it on all platforms or is it just a reel?
Facebook, Instagram.
Perfect. Okay. Any YouTubers? Anybody do YouTube? Or is it mostly Facebook,
I
Instagram?
put video walkthroughs on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet.
Property walkthrough?
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go through a lot of these ideas and different things like that through this class. Let's first talk about, you know, communication in general is kind of important for us as salespeople, right? To communicate, you know, we can do it in a lot of different ways. There's lots of different means and conduits that we use for communication. But what type will get you the most face-to-face interaction? Okay, there's email. You can send out maybe a mass email to all the people that you want to connect with, but that's not necessarily face-to-face, right? And we all know how email communication works these days. The average open rate for a marketing email isn't very good. If you guys know what that open rate might be?
For a text or what?
For an email, like a marketing email.
Less than 30%.
Yeah, it's actually less than 10%. So if it's a marketing email that they know, it's like, hey, this is the canned, you know, email that goes out to everybody. He didn't really type it up. It just, you know, it went out. And if they don't feel like they need to get anything that's in there, the information that's in there, then they won't open it up. And it's really easy for them to delete. Now, one thing that is good about email, and I touched on this in the last class with managing your database and marketing to your database. Even though they may not open it up, they have to see your name before they delete it. That's just, it's like a name recognition. They might not get the content that's in the email, but they still see your name, which is important. So email is still a viable way of communication and marketing, but maybe not the best face-to-face interaction. Text messaging. We talked a lot about this last time too. You guys like to text?
Love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the new way of communication, in my opinion. Most people don't want to use the phone anymore. Have you noticed that? Like you call people on the phone and they don't even answer. And if you don't know who's calling, and if you're like, I don't want to talk to this person, they're too busy, like that's just the way it is. And you know, they'll leave a message, or you know, if they really want to talk to me, they'll leave a message or they'll send me a text, and that's usually what happens. But texting is easier for you and for them. It's faster. It's a great way to get information across, but does it give you face-to-face time? No. Okay. Phone. A phone calling out. We just talked about that. A phone call. You know, even though people don't actually answer the phone, usually, it's still name recognition. They recognize your number and your name, and if you leave a voicemail, they'll probably listen to it eventually. Maybe they'll later that night or the next day or something like that. Or they get that voicemail text. I have that on my phone where you get a transcript of the voicemail texted to you, so they can still see it that it was you and whatnot. But again, does it give you face-to-face interaction? Can you actually sell homes over the phone? Not really. Okay. One-on-one, great. We're one-on-one, face-to-face interaction, boom, eyeball to eyeball, okay? This is how we sell. But it's one-on-one. It's not, you're not talking to the masses, it's one-on-one. So, and it's hard to get a lot of one-on-one conversations in any given day. You maybe get a few, but it's hard to get, hundreds, okay? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social media. This is also a great way to communicate. I didn't mention this, but I also have a CE class on Facebook marketing for realtors. Do you guys be interested in that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bam.
Well, I'll
on the
get on the calendar. So Facebook's a great platform to communicate and manage your database and market to the masses and the people you want to be in touch with. But a lot of times it's not face to face. It's a great way to have engagement and name recognition. It's awesome. But today we're going to be talking about video and why video is important. Okay. I had this in my last class. I love this slide because it really tells a story. 90% of people say they would use the realtor again on their next home purchase. That means we're doing awesome. Everybody's like, hey, I love my agent. I would absolutely use that realtor again the next time I bought or sold a house. No questions asked. And how often do people buy and sell on average usually? 3 to 5 years. Every 3 to 5 years? Perfect. Okay, so the next question is, how often do they actually use the realtor again on the next home purchase? Only 20% actually do. So they say they will do it, but they never do. Okay, why do you think that is?
Who's ever in front of them at the time?
Right.
Or you did a shitty job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it.
They're probably 10%. They didn't want to anyways.
Right. They don't remember.
I don't remember, yeah. That's the name of the game, is name recognition, being top of mind with people. I don't think we mean to do it. I think we have every intention to be top of mind with everybody, our database, all the people we come in contact with. I think the problem is we lack maybe a system or the technology or a process to maintain over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years to stay in front of these people every week, every month, that type of thing. And there are ways and systems we can do that. We talked a lot about that in the last class. But if we can manage, if we can somehow capture our database and manage it over the weeks and months and years, and it's a system where we don't have to think about it, kind of like a set it and forget it system, where you just get them in the system, plug and play, and then it's done. So that's the key, and we can talk more about that later. But only 20% actually do use the realtor again on the next home purchase. We want that to be 90%. We want them to come back to you each time. Okay. Then suddenly you're not worried about where am I going to get my next lead. It's what is my next phone call going to happen for the people that I already managed. We're not looking for new fresh leads. We're just looking for the people we already know. Okay.
Do you know what the number is for mortgage brokers repeat business? Is it higher or?
It depends on how well they do their marketing. So I think it's very, very similar. And I'll talk about this later, but we have a system in our office that we've tried to manage. This is how we built our business. But it's very similar.
What's yours? Because you're obviously an expert in this.
That's a good question. I'd have to go back and look and see, it's not a perfect science. There's always people that will go elsewhere no matter what you do.
That's the thing, is you don't know that they went elsewhere because they didn't contact you.
There's actually technology now that I can actually know.
Oh, really?
But yeah, like it's crazy. I'll get an email that says, hey, this person.
Things are weird now.
And it's amazing, but I get email notifications when somebody, one of my past clients has listed their home. They're gonna buy another house maybe. I'm gonna call that person. I get a notification when someone has a credit pull. Oh, okay, let's call that person. So anyways, there's lots of different things that we can do, and I'm sure you guys can have access to the same technology, but I don't know what my percentage is. It's higher. I don't know. I have to figure that out, but that's a good question. I'm gonna do that. I'll figure that out. But on average, 5% of your database will need real estate help each year. So the name of the game is how big is your list? So what's 5% of 100 people? 5. What's 5% of 300 people? 15. Yes. All right. So 500 people is 25. So If you had 500 people on your list, that's an additional 25 transactions that year. That would be awesome, right? That's like life-changing. And it's really just the name of the game is how big is your list and how do you manage that? What's your systems like and how do you get them to remember you, okay? All right, so going back on the subject of video, how many of you would rather watch a 1-minute video as opposed to like reading a 3-paragraph email? Most everybody. And why do you think that is?
I don't read it.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like the whole idea with answering the phone. It's like, it takes too much time and effort to pick up the phone and answer it and talk to somebody. But if you can just like watch a video, it's just like, it goes into your brain, the images, and it's how your brain works. You remember things through image. You don't remember words on the page, you remember the images. And if you're reading words on the page, you're remembering the images that the word made in your brain. And it's just the way we're wired. We just remember video and we prefer video. That's how we look. It's no mistake, Facebook and social media, they've got that figured out. I guarantee you, go on social media right now, doesn't matter the platform. I guarantee you the first 2 or 3 is gonna have a video on your main feed. Guaranteed, because they know that's what you want to see the second you open up Facebook. So you have to go down quite a ways in your feed to find some kind of post that's just text, because nobody wants to read, and that's what Facebook does. So, anyways, that's the way our brains are wired. Is we prefer to watch a video as opposed to a 3-paragraph email. I heard actually this next slide here. You're better when you're face to face with a client or customer, and so. When you can be face-to-face with people, you're better salespeople, right? Like you can't sell a home through an email. You can't sell a home through text. You can sell a home and capture those emotions through face-to-face communication. Too often we're stuck relying on traditional means of communication like email, voicemail, and whatnot. These are impersonal and often get overlooked and you don't get replies and don't get help, and you don't help people connect with you. Video puts you back into your sales process so you can win more opportunities every day. You are more persuasive if people can see you and hear you in person. Okay. So I heard this statistic, like a month ago, and I stuck it in here in my slides. For the first time ever this last year, more video was consumed on mobile devices as opposed to television sets. For the first time ever. That's crazy, right? Isn't it? But don't you find yourself watching video on your phone like all the time? It's so easy. Like be with the TV on. So that's why social media marketing and video along with social media is so important. Anyways, it's a really eye-popping statistic. I think I had this on my last class, but I just thought it was really funny. I wanted to bring it up here. It's okay to have your information online, okay? It's not going to be dangerous. I know there's people, some of the older folks that are nervous about putting your personal information on the internet. And I know this because I have people in my life that are near and dear to me that feel this way, and it's totally fine. No matter what I say, I can't convince them, but they don't need their information online. My parents are of that age and they don't care about having the information online, but we as professionals, like there's no yellow pages that they can open these days to get your name and number. If they want to reach out to you, they're going to go to social media. They're going to go to Google, they're going to tap in your name, and if you pop up, bam, that's a win. But if you don't pop up, they're going to go to the first person that does, right? So you don't need to have your social security number, things like that, just your basic info. If you have a website, awesome. A phone number, an email address. The easiest is maybe create a Google listing. They're free. Create a Google listing for your real estate business. And then you can get reviews on there, 5-star reviews, all that good stuff. Facebook has, business pages that you can create on Facebook. That's also free. There's lots of different platforms you can use they don't cost any money. that help you with your SEO, and when people Google you, you'll show up pretty quickly. So I can promise you, if I wanted to, I could get your name and probably find out, give me about 20 minutes, I could probably find out a lot of information about you that you don't want me to know about you just by using Google. It's not hard to find information online. So just get your information on Google and or Facebook or somewhere online where they can find you if you are Googled. Okay, any questions to this point? Any comments?
With video, I know there's some statistics out there, but what's like the optimal length to have somebody actually watch it? Because I know you can do them too long, you know, lose them, you know?
Yeah, I try to keep them, you know, if it's 30 seconds or less, people see when you open up a video, what's the first thing you look at? Okay, how much time am I committing to this video, right? It's the first thing you look at. If it's 30 seconds or less, okay, I can do this. And you can have that attention for 30 seconds. A minute, 60 seconds, sometimes that's okay, but when you get over that, then you might lose eyeballs just because people don't have the time to commit to 2 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes, unless they know it's content they need and they'll watch the whole thing through. But like, you know, if it's social media stuff or whatever, just keep 30 seconds or less and you'll get all the eyeballs you need. So, okay, let's see. Oh, doesn't work. Is it a timeout?
No, sometimes it just
Oh, yeah.
click over the thing.
Oh, yeah. Nope. There we go. Okay, here are the statistics. When using video, you're going to get 81% more replies and responses. So like if you do a video email to your database, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if the word video is actually in the subject line, you're going to get a lot more clickers just because they know it's a video. 87% more clicks in emails, 68% higher lead conversion, 56 more referrals generated. The key to winning the fight for attention in someone's crowded inbox is your smiling face. Okay. Okay, here's for those of you online who's listening, the first keyword, first of 3 is video. So put down a chat box if you're listening and you're present. So video is the first keyword. Okay. What will you learn today? This is what we're going to talk about. How you can educate the consumer through video. And then how to get started. And then also content and consistency. So I really just want to focus on the basics. Like I'm not going to show you, how to do major productions and edits and all this. Like this is just the basics of the basics and what's the most successful route to go as a realtor. And I know you guys are busy. We all are. So this is going to get you a video with the least amount of effort and time. Okay, here's the stuff you need. You need a camera, number 1. Okay. How many of you guys don't have a smartphone? Does anybody here not have a smartphone? Okay. Yay. Step 1, we have a smartphone. How many of you guys have an iPhone? How many have an Android? Nobody has an Android. Whoa. That's probably the first time.
Wow.
Hey, I do.
We're all smart.
Don't push
Okay.
us Android people to the side here.
What did she say?
She said, a couple of people said they do have Android.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I was going to say, if you have an Android,
That's why they're online.
you have to go get an iPhone.
Hey now.
That's the word. You have to get an iPhone, okay? Just kidding, you don't need an iPhone, okay? So these videos, I'm sorry, these phones are fantastic. These knows how good the cameras are. Like they're amazing. This is the new iPhone 13 that I got. You don't need an iPhone 13. You can have an iPhone 10 or whatever model you have. They're all great cameras. iPhone 13 just happens to be a little bit better. So, you don't need to go to Best Buy and spend several $100s buying a really nice camera at Best Buy because we have everything we need right here. Okay. So that's the first thing you need, a camera. The second thing is a microphone. So how many of you watched a video before and the audio on the video just happens to be like really bad? And maybe it's muffled or there's little, sounds and, the microphone's getting, scratched or whatever. And it's just like the second you hear that video, you're like, I don't want to watch this. I'm out. So it's really important to have good sound quality in your video. I'd recommend a microphone, go on Amazon, spend 20 bucks. You'll have it here next day. And it's, or you can get one that's wireless, maybe spend $50. I know it's getting pretty steep, but you get a wireless one for 50 bucks. You just want to, put it on your shirt or whatever. And then you got that good sound quality with your video. You can spend an extra $1 if you want and get, those foam covers that go over the actual microphone piece to cut down on wind noise and things like that. So a microphone's important, so get one of those. A tripod. So I actually really like tripods for a few reasons. The first reason is camera shake. Have you ever watched a video when it's like going like this? And that's the same thing with the sound quality. Like, I don't want to watch this. It's making me busy. I don't want to watch this video. You're out. So a tripod gets rid of camera shake. So put it on the tripod, it's steady, perfect. The other thing I like about tripods is I don't have to have another human hold my camera to video me, right? I don't have to have my wife or whoever. They don't have to take their time, which is a pain. And then a lot of us, and I still have this to a certain extent. I had a lot more earlier, but there's a real thing called camera shyness, right? And that's why a lot of us don't do video, because we just don't want to be in front of the camera. It's uncomfortable. But if you're the only one in the room and you got your phone and you're on a tripod, you're the only one doing the video, you can take as many takes as you want. Who cares? Okay. No one's judging you. Just do it. Okay. And that's what's great about a tripod. I've got one that stands up tall, or I've got one that sits on the desk that's really short. And you can spend a couple $100 on nice tripods if you want. Go for it. Or you just get a cheap plastic one for 30 bucks on Amazon. Okay. Video editing software. You kind of need a little bit of software. And don't go out and spend. You could spend hundreds of dollars on really nice editing software. You could, but you don't have to. You can get free versions. Apple's got a free download. You can get apps on for Android phones as well for iPhones where it's free. Has anybody used these video editing softwares? Downloads? Yeah. Okay. Is it pretty easy? Yeah, super easy. And it's actually kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't recommend spending hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how to make, because that's kind of becomes a waste of your time. But just get a download, and it's free, and you can cut out things like that time that it takes you to push record on your phone and then walk in front of the camera and do your thing. There's maybe a 2 or 3 second lag. You just cut that out to software. So you kind of need that, but it's free. I put in here an assistant because sometimes video, if you try to tackle this strategy, you literally can spend a lot of time trying to figure it out and maybe not ever be very good at it, like editing and all that stuff that goes along with that. An assistant can come in a lot of different forms, okay? It's amazing how quickly and how good teenagers are with technology, right? So you can tell your son or daughter, say, look, if you want dinner tonight, I need to have this thing. It's gonna take you 5 minutes, I promise. Just take this stuff out and I'm good, we got dinner. So just things like that. So find somebody, because otherwise you're gonna be spending a couple of hours trying to do the simplest of tasks, or you could be spending that time more effectively, maybe making phone calls or doing something that actually is making you money as a realtor. And so find somebody to help you. There's different, I've got an idea also for an assistant here in a minute. There are these virtual assistants you can hire from overseas in the Philippines and whatnot. They're really inexpensive, also really good. Or maybe some, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways. So that's the next thing. Okay, YouTube and Facebook. You need YouTube and Facebook. So if you do a video on your phone and you say, okay, I've got this perfect video, even if you edit a little bit, I've got this video file. Awesome. Well, you have a video file. You can't do anything with the video file. You have to upload that video file to a platform. Then you have a link to use with your marketing and everything you want to do. So that's where YouTube comes in and Facebook. So how many in here have a Google account, a Gmail Google account. Everybody, perfect. So because you have a Google account, if you remember years ago, YouTube and Google, they got married. So now they're one and the same, and your login for Google is the same login for YouTube, which means you have a YouTube channel. It's free, and that's where you can host all your videos. So you can go in there and you can decorate it and organize it and make it all you know, with your personality and whatnot. But that's where people can go and watch your videos on your YouTube channel because you have a Google login. Does that make sense? I wouldn't recommend hosting the video on YouTube and then sharing the YouTube video on Facebook. Because those two are not married, okay? Facebook will still show your YouTube video, but they don't give it priority. It's never at the very, very top. You can find it, but people have to go down a ways before they see your video, your YouTube video. If you want to put a video on Facebook, you got to upload that video file to Facebook, and then it becomes their video, and then they give it priority, and you're always at the top. Okay, so there's two different platforms. It depends on your marketing strategies and what you want to do. There's a place for YouTube, and there's a place for social media and Facebook. But that's definitely, you can, like I said, you can't take that video file on your phone and market with that. You have to get a link. Yeah.
I was curious, I was told that you're gonna do that from a YouTube video, put it in the comments section as opposed to posting it in like your subject line. And then it will continue that algorithm. Is that true?
Awesome. You know, I've never
As long
heard
as
that.
it's not the first subject and it's like, because it's taking you off of Facebook back
Yeah.
onto like a YouTube channel.
Right.
But if you put it in the comment section, it doesn't recognize it, but your algorithm stays the same.
Perfect.
From what I hear.
That's what you hear.
So you just say link to
Word on the
video and
street,
comments?
that's it.
Perfect. Yeah. That's so. I've never heard that, but I can see that totally being the case.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. Just, you know, make your post and say, check out my video in the comment,
Correct.
and then put your YouTube video in the comment. You can do that. Yeah. Or you just upload to Facebook. So, but either way is good. Okay. All right. That is all. Let's get started. That's all. Okay. So look, let's see, I gotta go back. That's it. So you're gonna spend $50 and you're gonna have everything you need to do video marketing. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. Let's talk about some video ideas. What are some video ideas that you have? What are some videos that you've done? I know we'll talk about this a little bit. What are some videos that you want to do that you think would be a good use of your strategies with your video marketing? What are some ideas? We talked about listings, like showing off your listing, doing a walkthrough on video. I love it. What else? What's that?
Market updates.
Yeah,
Sweet. Okay.
or like mortgage programs,
Perfect.
like you have the Heroes one,
Yes.
like that would be a good video.
Totally.
post.
Yeah. Totally. Okay. And you just throw it out to your database, social media, whatever. Perfect.
We just do like some fun videos because they say the video helps people learn your personality and things like that. And so we'll just do like just some fun random stuff and post those.
Okay.
Nothing to do with real estate
Yes.
or anything. So
Every
Yes.
now and then
So-
they do, but
yeah,
when we're doing
yeah, we'll do some other
Mix
stuff.
them up.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a secret. With your efforts with managing your database and marketing and social media and emails and all the stuff you're doing, if you're feeding all the people you want to be in touch with, all this content, if you're getting them, if you're force feeding them real estate information all the time, they're gonna shut you off really fast. Most people don't really care about real estate info unless they're gonna be buying a house in the next couple of months, and they really care. But that's usually not the case. What you want is to get something that they want to see. So Facebook, for example, Facebook's a party. People go there to be educated, to be entertained, to laugh, to be inspired. You know, they go there for that emotional, that emotional high. You know, it kind of gets addicting. But if you're force feeding them the real estate stuff all the time, they get used to this. They're gonna scroll right through your name every time. They don't care. Does that make sense? So it's important that you give them a little bit of real estate info because then they know you're a realtor, but always give them something that they want to see. And then they get addicted to you, right? So we talked about that in the last class a lot too, but the same is true for me. Okay, any other ideas, any other video ideas?
Services that you do in the community.
Nice, yeah. So these are all great, managing and marketing to your database and providing value and content that they want to see. So perfect. Okay, here's an idea, maybe a thank you video. So, maybe you just closed on a home. You have a client, they just bought their house. Let's say it's their first home, a huge deal. All the emotions that go into that, from start to finish, and they finally made it. They bought their first house, and you've already said thank you in a lot of different ways. You said thank you on the phone, you've texted them, like they know you're thankful. But if you do a thank you video, it's like that thing. Remember, that's how our brain remembers, is through image. If you do a quick thank you video, then they're going to remember that forever. Maybe just add that to your email. Or add that. So what I like to do is just do a 10 or 15 second thank you video and then text it. But just do a quick video on your phone, boom, text, saying thank you. And that actually captures brain cells a lot more than an email would. Okay. Okay. Maybe like the home buying process. So, I mean, like an inspection, or how many times have you explained the process of an inspection to your clients? And are you getting sick of explaining the inspection process, the same one over and over again to your clients? So it's the same conversation. They have the same questions. You're giving the same information. Just find your favorite inspector, do like a 2-minute video on inspections. And then say, look, I got this awesome video. I'll send it to you. I'll tell you everything you need to know about inspections. And then if you have more questions, let me know. Okay. But then they can refer back to that video again and again, and then they remember it because it's a video and all that good stuff. So do like home, inspection video, an appraisal video. Find your favorite appraiser, if you do have a favorite appraiser. So, sorry, that's a bad joke.
We all got it.
Yeah. So maybe explain the purchase contract, or how to make an offer, or get with your loan officer, do a pre-approval process video, things like that. And then say, hey, I got a great video for that. Let me send it to you. And then call me if you have questions. Okay. Same thing with a thank you video, but maybe like a congratulations video. Hey, congratulations, they just accepted our contract. Woo! That's a big deal in the market right now, right? To get a contract accepted. Do a congratulations 10 or 15 second video text and send it to them. We talked about this last time a little bit, but a weekly or monthly video tip. This is maybe more in the direction of managing your database and providing content to your database and the people that already know, like, and trust you. But you're providing just value every time. And again, I wouldn't recommend doing real estate weekly or monthly videos. Stay away from the real estate info. Just do something funny, like I did some videos. One time I just Googled, like, I'm trying to find content. What video should I do? And I found like everyday uses of clothespins. How many of you use clothespins? I don't. But it was interesting. Like there's like literally a dozen things you could do with clothespins. I'm like, I'm gonna do this one. So I did a quick video on what you use clothespins for, and it was funny, and I got a lot of views, and it was great. But that was one thing I did as an example to my database. How to store brown sugar, how to store guacamole. These things are that people do on a daily basis that can maybe use this type of information. You're giving to them, so you're providing them the value content. So, people have also done like a weekly or monthly app. We all have these phones, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of apps. But there's a lot of apps that are really, really cool that maybe not everybody knows about. If you find that app, do a video on it and share the coolness of this app to everybody, and they'll appreciate it. So, okay, we talked about video text. It's a really great way to communicate. Maybe instead of texting, have you had those texts where it's like 2 paragraphs or 3? It's a huge old text. It's fine, but maybe just do a quick video instead. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, get that video with the information across, text it to them. And I'm sure they'd probably prefer to watch the video as opposed to reading all that text. So here's an idea, following up with a new lead. So how many times have you gotten a lead? You don't know them, you've never talked to them before. And you call them and they don't pick up the phone. You leave a voicemail and they don't call you back. You can even try texting it and they don't respond. So you got this lead, it's a hot lead. It's a referral from, you know, from your sister's brother's coworker, something like that. But they're just not responding to you. Why not? You made the phone call. Why not follow up that phone call with a video text? 10 seconds. Hey, just say something like, hey, I'm sorry I missed you. I got your name from so-and-so and I would love to help you. They said you're looking for a house. There's some amazing deals right now. Just call me when you get a second. Love to chat with you about it. Talk to you soon. That's it. And so what's happening there is they are building a relationship of trust with you in their brain because they see your personality, they see your face, and then they feel more comfortable calling you back. Then you're not just like some sales guy, they have no idea who you are, but like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'll call him back. She's a nice guy, nice girl. So anyways, make sense? All right. Maybe reconnecting with a past client. You know, I know we've had these clients, like we talked about, where we sold them a house, we haven't talked to them for 3 years. It's okay, you can reconnect and they won't think poorly of you because you haven't talked to them for 3 years. They won't even think about that part of it. They'll be like, oh, hey, how's it going? You just send them a quick video or give them a call and follow up with a video, okay? So these are just basic stuff, but it's how we incorporate video with our everyday activities and our everyday marketing. Same thing with confirming an appointment, those kinds of things. So any questions or any other ideas maybe you have that I didn't touch on?
I love those last three. That's awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it personal.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
Totally, yeah. It takes zero effort, like literally 10, 15 seconds, video, boom, send, you know?
Be quicker than typing it.
Yeah, I know. Like you can spend like literally 30 minutes on one big text. You're like, oh, I missed up on that word. Go back and out, like all the punctuation, all that stuff. So anyways, okay, moving on. So here's some guidelines, some guidelines in terms of the content you're giving to your clients. You want zero negative news, okay? If you're gonna do like news type stuff, don't be negative. I know that, I know, how many of you guys like to watch the 10 o'clock news? Awesome.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, I can't tell you, like, I don't know if I ever watched it. I don't watch the 10 o'clock news, but when I did, I've never seen anything positive.
You went to bed depressed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, exactly. But the crazy thing is, sometimes people crave the negative. It kind of like is a little bit, you know, they're like, oh, what's going on? You know, they want that. But negativity breeds more negativity, right? Positivity brings more positivity. So always be positive, always bring the good stuff and never be negative, okay? I'll stay away from political stuff. So if it could be controversial in any way, political or not, I'd stay away from it, because if you voice your stance in whatever way it is, half the people are going to be with you and half the people are not. And you might lose half the people. They might really feel strongly about your stance and they might not want to go with you, okay? So just stay away from political controversy and always be positive. All right, so this is a video I just did. I had one for several years, but I just recently redid it last year. It's an about me video. I call it the about me video. And if you don't have one of these, this is maybe a great place to start. What it is, you know, it's longer. It's like 2 minutes. You can't really fit my life in like 30 seconds. So made it 2 minutes. It's really like the first half video is my personal life. I've got my kids in there, you know, kind of like my hobbies, my wife, I'm in my house. And then the second half is what I do professionally and how I can help people. But this follows me everywhere. So it's on my social media platforms. It's on my email signatures. It's on my website. And so whenever anybody connects with me digitally in any way, there's always a link. Oh, who's Spencer? I can look at it and see. So they watch this video and then they're learning about me, and then they gain a little bit of a trust and feel comfortable with me Yeah.
So is that like a collage of a bunch of different clips of parts of your life, or is it a one take thing where you're just talking about it?
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
How about I show you the end?
Okay.
So, because I think we're getting close to being done, but don't remind me, like, if I forget, I'll show you. We can.
Yeah. We should
Okay.
share them.
Okay. So an about you video is a short introductory video that tells the viewer about you, that connects them with you, and it lets them see why they should do business with you. Right? An about you video is not a brochure of your products, a reread of your website, and a commercial about rates or whatever. Okay, it's oops, let me go back. You want them to connect with you on a personal level and feel comfortable with calling you. These are for people that you've never met, but they feel like they already know you because they watched your video. Okay. We talked about video marketing email. Again, if you want to send a video through email form to your database, to the masses through email, I could be wrong, but I haven't found it yet. There isn't a platform that exists where you can put a video in an email, and when the receiver of that email clicks on the email, opens up that window for the body of the email, they stay in that window of the email and watch that particular video inside the email. So that doesn't exist. They have to click on something and it redirects them to YouTube or whatever platform you're using, Vimeo or whatever it is. So, but if you put the word video in your subject line of your emails, you're going to get more clicks. So, but what you do is record a video on your smartphone, upload to YouTube. When you upload to YouTube, you have an option to choose public, meaning anybody and everybody can look at your video. It's public. You can choose semi-private, which means you have to have a link to watch the video. You can't just search it on YouTube and watch it. You have to have a link to watch that video. Or you can do private, which is you have to have a link and then you have to have a passcode to watch the video. Yeah.
Have you tried bomb?
Yes, I got a slide. This is it. Yeah.
Doing your email, right?
Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that in just a second. So I'd recommend if you're doing YouTube, I would recommend making all your videos public, so it's easy for them to watch it. Get that link, that public video link, put it in your video. I'm sorry, in your email, and then share it. And email out to your database. Does that make sense? Okay. Keep it simple. If you have to do editing, just make it very simple editing. Take out the scraps where you're walking in front of the camera or whatever. No bumper music. What I mean by that is that 5-second intro of like this pretty elevator music that leads up to your video, and maybe at the end there's this pretty whatever. You don't need that. Okay, nobody cares. It just takes time. Post it on YouTube. Make sure you don't let the background be a distraction of what you're presenting in your video. Like, don't go in front of a busy street, or go in front of a tree, or in the mountains, or in your listing, or just something like that. Okay, for those of you online, the second keyword is tripod. All right, the second keyword is tripod. Moving on. Actually, going back to this topic, keeping it simple. When I very first started doing video years ago, I had extreme camera shyness. Okay, I still do a little bit, but I thought I have to do this because this is what I have to do, right? And so I went overboard and I bought everything. I spent way too much money, but I bought like a green screen. I bought lights, these nice big lights, and the tripod, and then anything I could find, because I knew if I had everything, then I'd have a really good video. Produce a really good video.
All in.
So, but I did that. My first video, I was in my basement, had the green screen set up, everything, and I literally probably took 30 takes of one. Like that was like a 60-second video, like 30 takes. I don't know how many, but it was a lot. It took me hours to take this video. And to this day, I go back and it's absolutely the worst video that I've done in my entire life. Because you could see it was staged. It was like, the best video is when you're off the cuff. And if you mess up on your words, It doesn't matter because that's your personality. People don't care. Off the cuff is best. Your personality shows through, and that's what they want to see. That's how they connect with you. Okay. Okay, let's talk about editing really quick. If you need to do a little bit of editing on a video, have you guys ever heard of Fiverr? Fiverr, Fiverr.com? Yeah. Did I mention it in the last class?
Yeah, probably.
I did? Okay. So Fiverr.com, everything on here is $5. And what it is, it's a website that anybody around the entire world can solicit their services on Fiverr, and they charge $5 for whatever they're soliciting for, whatever they want to do. So a word of caution, if you go on Fiverr.com, it's kind of like Facebook where you could go in there and you've like an hour later, you're like, what happened to my time? Like you just go in there, you get sucked into all this stuff and you realize what time it is, you're like, oh my goodness. But like anything, like for example, well, first off, the main webpage, the homepage, edit video in a search bar, 1,700 people are willing to edit my video for $5. Wow. And these are people just anywhere in the whole world. They're just so good at it, they can do it so quickly, and it's worth it for $5. Most of the time they're somewhere maybe in India or the Philippines or something like that, where $5 goes a lot longer, goes a lot farther than $5 in the US. But still they do a really good job, and it's extremely cheap. I'd rather spend $5 than spend 2 hours trying to figure something out.
You're gonna spend 2 hours going through 1,700.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do the damn video yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you pick one if there's 1,700?
I like to look
just randomly.
there's reviews, you can find, they just, you just pick one, sometimes they have examples of what they do and whatnot. And if you find one you like, you can just go back to it again and again. It becomes like your go-to, like an assistant, right?
TikTok's the demon.
What's that?
I've reused one about a dozen times.
Nice, perfect. So somebody have a question? I heard something.
TikTok's a demon too. That'll waste.
TikTok. You can get sucked into TikTok. So, I've had it where I found, I needed to edit a document into Spanish, like a 2 or 3 page Word document in Spanish. Someone did it for $5 for me. I've had it where I created a website and they said, I'll give you constructive feedback on your new website for $5. Okay, great. So like just cool stuff. But you could go there if you want help editing videos. It could be your new assistant. Okay. You brought up BombBomb in the back. This is a video email platform. Are you using BombBomb right now? Okay. So BombBomb is a video emailing platform, and it's also good for text messaging as well, text videos. This is great for sending a video to the masses through email. It's not free. It's maybe $50 or $60 a month, but it's great. It's very professional. It's very user friendly. The receiver of the email, it's very seamless. They just go in there and they can click and get the video really quickly, and the technology is great. So, for example, like maybe a happy birthday video or great catching up with you, congratulations, Merry Christmas. Do like a mass Merry Christmas video to all your people with one video through BombBomb. Go to bombbomb.com. Okay. So that's an idea. So here's the goal with video marketing. Instantly build rapport with leads. Okay. They know you, like you, and trust you under 3 minutes. What they get is trust, integrity, follow through, and that you work for your clients. You're setting the expectation we're going to have a long-term relationship. And you're building your brand. Okay. Research says no boring or corporate video. So if the viewer thinks this is something you spend hours and hours on, all this crazy editing and graphics and music and stuff, it's not nearly as interesting as opposed to something off the cuff. You don't need to be Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston for it to be effective. Okay, you don't need to look like some supermodel or whatever. Just you being you. Whatever you look like in the video, it's the same way you look if you meet somebody in person. Don't feel like you have to look like these guys to be effective in video. Just you being you. Right?
So no filters.
No filters. Yeah. So in conclusion, you can make a difference and use the new way of communication, be ahead of the curve, and video is king, okay? And then here's a third key word for those of you on Zoom is referrals, okay? Any questions?
No.
Awesome, I must have done a good job.
Great job.
You did great.
You guys want to watch my About Me video?
Yeah.
We'll just
I
go
feel
to-
like that was a teaser on purpose. That was a smart move. It's like, visit my YouTube channel, guys.
You can't see it now.
So just go to my website, unifiedlending.com.
Hey, if it doesn't have your gym in it, I don't see it.
Yeah. No, that's a new development. That's maybe later. So just go to.
Pull it up here because this is the
Okay.
screen I'm sharing.
You're gonna have an event at Top Golf. That's sweet.
You
Smart,
weren't
right?
invited?
I wasn't.
Pretty.
Okay, so go to About Me. And then there's.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I share the sound. Can you guys see that online? Am I sharing the right screen? Okay, cool. No, sorry, I don't have this monitor set up right, so I gotta find my mouse.
It's up there.
No, I gotta share the screen or the sound.
Did you shoot this video yourself with your
I
iPhone?
didn't. I actually found, so I had a connection with somebody who was an administrator with Summit Academy in Draper here. And they had a teacher, he was a brand new teacher, but he was the videographer teacher for the high school. And I did, and I said, hey, would you mind shooting a video for me? And it was really inexpensive. They did a really good job. So, yeah. Did you get it? Are you playing with Ruby? My name is Spencer Stott. I'm a mortgage professional, been doing it for 20 years. The most important thing for me is family. We got 3 kids. Nolan is 7, Ruby is 5, and Dean is 2. And if I'm not working, I'm at home with the kids. My wife Jessica and I, we met, boy, it's probably been 15 or so years. We met on a blind date. And she was not as excited about it at the beginning as I was, but I had a feeling it was gonna work out, and it's been awesome ever since. So I love my job. I get to come to work every day and help people achieve their dreams. It's extremely gratifying to help people buy their first home. I've been through what they are going through, so I know what it's like to be a first-time home buyer. I know that those feelings, those questions you have, and the uncertainties and the unknowns that you have as you're going through this process for the first time. And so I can understand that. From the first conversation that we have, we consider them family. They're not just a number, they're important. It's our goal from start to finish to meet and exceed your expectations. We work with all kinds of buyers, from first-time home buyers to, move-up buyers, families with kids, or maybe you're looking for your final home to retire in, or maybe even to downsize. Any kind of buyer, we'd love to help. We can really do our job from anywhere. We give you weekly updates from A to Z, so you know exactly where you are in the process 100% of the time. Most of our clients do their loan applications online. In fact, probably about 98% of the people that I talk to apply online with us. And in this day and age, you can do everything electronically, everything's virtual, and makes life so much easier. This is the most important financial decision that most anybody will make in their entire life, and we realize that. And it's our job to make sure that this experience is memorable.
I think you're wearing the same shirt.
Really?
Yep.
I do have other shirts in my closet. So,
This must just be your lucky shirt.
it is. Okay, so that's an About Me video. It's just a great thing for someone to watch, and then they get to know you in a couple minutes, and it just breaks down those barriers, and they feel more comfortable with you. So anyways, that's it. So.
Click the slide and put your contact on, and then we can do some Q.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, my office is right on the street, actually, South Georgia, River Bottom's down there, close to Mulligan's, if you like to play golf, Mulligan's. Anyways, maybe a couple of, I guess, plugs, since we're kind of past the CD section. We can.
Yeah, any questions for the video content first?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I remember from last time you were here, you talked about some specific things that you do for agents and kind of help them get business. So I'm
Yes.
sure that's hopefully
Yes.
what you're going to talk about.
Yes.
But I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah, online, if you have any questions, anything about video. Okay. So maybe a couple of highlights, moving towards financing and mortgages and whatnot. I put a couple flyers in your folders to look at too. So we have this new product. Oh, these are the heroes. Awesome.
Right one?
Yeah, that's perfect. One other flyer that, or one other program we have, I wanted to share with you is mortgage insurance. Obviously, historically 20% down is required to not have mortgage insurance, right? We now have it available for 10% down. 10% down, no mortgage insurance, and the rates are still really good. Okay, like almost as good as 20% down. Okay. It saves the client a lot more money. They're happy they don't have to have mortgage insurance. So that's kind of a highlight program that we have. I know that with home prices going up, maybe, the jumbo loan types are more prevalent. And how many of you guys have done a lot of jumbo transactions or clients? Those are the best kind, right? So the financing is different for jumbo, right? There's a conforming loan limit. Right now, it just got increased at 647,300, I think, 647,000 for any county except for Summit County and Wasatch County. Then it's like 900,000 plus. But if you're over that conforming loan limit, then you're considered a jumbo buyer or borrower. And if they have to have a jumbo loan, then interest rates unfortunately just higher. And guidelines are a little bit different, qualifying guidelines. It's a little bit harder to get qualified for jumbo than it might be for a conventional loan. But it's always been you need at least 20% down for a jumbo. Like if someone's gonna be buying a home for $1 million, they're gonna have at least, they need to have 20% down to get a jumbo loan. That's not the case anymore. We have one that's available for just 3.5% down jumbo. Wow. So 3.5% down payment, and it's not FHA. I know it's confusing. It's 3.5, but that's maybe helps some of your jumbo buyers to help them get financed. Now, interest rates aren't like conforming rates, okay, but it will help them get in the loan, get into the home, and get them financed with just 3.5% down. Let's see, we have this hero program, the flyers are in there. We created this hero program because, it all started with COVID a couple of years ago. If you're considered a hero if you fall under 5 pillars, and that's educators, so teachers, law enforcement, firefighters, veterans, and medical. That's it. So those 5 pillars, which is a really big group of people, those 5 pillars. If you're part of that, then you qualify for the hero program. This is something that just our company does. This is not like, a program that's statewide or nationwide or something like that. But we have found that people, when they buy a house, the thing that often gets overlooked is the pain that comes after you buy the house. So there's all this excitement and emotion that goes into buying a house and finding the perfect home. They go to a contract, which is huge. They go to closing, they close, they're just so excited. They get the keys and then they have to move. They have to move their family and their life from one house to another, and that's a pain. Nobody likes that. And they kind of forget how much of a pain that is sometimes until they actually have to start doing it. So what we've done for the heroes is we try to take that pain away. Well, if you're a hero, we pay for a moving truck and movers to lift everything and put it in a truck and take it to our next house. Now, we can't do it if you're gonna move from New York to Draper, because that's way too expensive. We can't do that. But if you're moving from like Kaysville or, you know, West Jordan to Draper or something like that, we can pay for the movers and moving truck and take away a little bit of that pain from moving. And that's the HERO program. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Again, who qualifies?
Okay, so the 5 pillars, educators and teachers, firefighters, police officers, veterans, and medical, in the medical field. And that's medical is huge, right? Dentists, you know, everybody involved in the medical industry. So we can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Will only be the
Is it similar to like the homes of heroes in Nevada? I mean, because we have something very similar to what you're describing.
In Nevada.
Yeah, it covers like VA loans, the teachers, they can get, you know, a credit for teachers' credits. And it's only available for them, the firefighters, and it's through our rural housing department.
So it is, I'm not familiar with the Nevada program, but it sounds very, very, very similar. It doesn't matter the loan type that we're doing. We can do on VA loans, FHA, conventional jumbo, whatever. So, but it sounds very similar. So
Right, it's just they have to be a teacher or a firefighter, or if they don't qualify for, like if they're not a VA, so VA will help with what the VA doesn't cover. And like the teachers qualify for a certain amount, the firefighters qualify for a certain amount, and only certified agents can work with those clients.
So Kelly, every state's gonna have kind of like their own grants,
Right, but
their
I'm
own
just saying-
programs or whatever.
Yeah,
This is just for his company.
Right, no, but I'm just saying that it's really similar to, if I'm understanding it, it's similar to what they're doing, what you're doing.
it sounds very similar. There's a Homes for Heroes program that's nationwide. It's very similar to
Right.
that. Ours is a little bit different twist, where Homes for Heroes, they actually give them money, it closes like a credit for closing costs and whatnot. Ours, we don't give the credit, you know, money at closing, rather it's, we're taking that pain and giving them movers and moving truck and things like that. So.
Okay, yeah.
One last thing I wanted to plug and let you know, something we just started doing, and I'm super excited about this. For those of you that were here at my last class for the database management class, and of course today, you're probably thinking of all these awesome strategies and things that you want to implement. And I've been doing these CE classes for several years. And I know I can see when I teach these classes that everybody gets so excited about all these ideas, and they think, well, I'm gonna do this, and they want to implement it. But I found so often that it never gets implemented because we're all busy, right? There's so many things we have to do every day. So what we've done and we would like to do in my company, I've got all the systems in place. So I've got the staff, the systems, and the technology in place. I feel like if I'm helping you build your business and getting more leads and more deals closed, then I'm doing the same thing for me as well. And so what I would like to do is offer it, if you would like to, we would be happy to take on that role of being your database management company. And we will manage your people any way you like, but we can plug you into our system. We do snail mail, we do text messaging, text drips, email drips, phone calls, appreciation events, video, social media marketing. And I get you plugged in to my system with my staff and systems and technology, and we can co-market to your people. And it's a system that we've done for years, and I know it works because that's how I built the business. And I'm confident if you wanted to take advantage, you could build your business, we get your leads. The only thing we ask, doesn't cost any money. The only thing we ask is we want to get your loans too. So, so if you want to agree to that, we can do your loans for you and we'll help you guys get more business. So anyways, all we need is your list. That's maybe the hardest thing is getting a list and giving it to us. So
Pretty fair deal.
Yeah.
Hey, and you guys on Zoom that may or not have been on his previous class, just put yes in the chat if you want me to send you a link to a recording of that.
I'm happy to come back and do it again if you want. So, and that's all I got. Any questions? Any questions about video or mortgages or whatever? Yeah.
So I work in title, and
Awesome.
so I'm trying to figure out, I've been in mortgage and now I've moved to title, always in marketing. So I'm trying to figure out how, do I have my own Instagram page for title, like, and title guarantee, or do I say like, I have a lot more followers on my personal?
Yeah.
So how do you do that without overwhelming, or what's your thought?
I would have both. I would get a business page, and then, you know, your personal page is I found the personal page is just more effective than the business page.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to have a business page because people find you sometimes through the business. They click on something to get to your business page. So you have to have that presence.
Yes.
But it's the personal interaction on your personal page that gets you the most business.
So would you kind of tag, like, if I do a post on the professional page, tag my personal page, or tag the professional on my personal, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
Like
totally cross it.
Same
Yep.
post, but
Yep, exactly. Yep.
okay,
Great idea.
thank you. I just
Yeah.
don't want to wear out my friends.
Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like
You know,
I'm waterboarding them.
no, I totally get it.
You know what I mean?
You know, yeah, there's people like that. You know those people, right?
Yeah,
But the key is you can still have as many touches as you need, as you want, but bring the content. Don't bring the real estate every time. Bring
Okay.
something they want to see. Bring the emotional, the funny, you know, the inspirational things, the educational things that they want to see that they can get out of for their life, and then they want to see your posts. And even if you're doing it every day,
Okay.
if it's the good stuff, they want it.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so my guy Robert in the back, he's from my office. He brought lunch. We have sandwiches and chips and drinks. So
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you.